He just wrapped up 35 years practicing law, 23 years of that in California cannabis, and now everybody's favorite foul-mouthed uncle is here to teach us more than just the root word of pussy.
Pusillanimous.
Dale Schaefer, what you got for us?
Good morning, everybody. And for you, Gretchen, good afternoon. This comes out of Law 360. Headline is Pot Entrepreneur Settles Claim, Ex-Partner Hid $6.4 million award. This is a story of how business partners screw each other and then end up in court. And we have a couple of guys here, David Barch and Mackie Bark. Now, I'm looking at this going, Barch and Bark, what the fuck? Where'd these guys meet each other? Probably a bar drinking too much. But they formed a company that was after a license in Maryland called Doctors Orders Maryland. And they were supposedly 50-50 partners. And I don't know if it's a partnership or a corporation because the story mentions shares, and people that write this get things confused a bit. But they formed a business entity. They owned it 50-50. They had an agreement that any equity this business acquired in any future businesses, they were going to own 50-50. Back in 2018, Mr. Barch sued Mr. Bark for breach of contract. And as a result of that suit, Mr. Barch was awarded $6.4 million. As the court agreed, he did get screwed by this guy. Well, it turns out that somewhere contemporaneous with this settlement, this guy, Mackie Bark, his wife, Kimberly Bark, and his brother, Justin Bark, the Bark trio, they were siphoning assets out of this business. They put them into trusts, family investment and resource trusts, and these three were the trustees. They gave what was purported to be false information about the value of the business. And they also acquired assets in another business but didn't share with him. So in 2020, he decided, screw you guys, man, or 2022, screw you guys. I'm going to sue you for what you did. And he went back into court and he outlined what these people had done. There's one lady in here, I don't want to be misogynist here, but outlined that I had a $6.4 million award, and they started bleeding assets off of this, hiding it in trust. They didn't give me what I was owed in this new business, okay? And they just had a settlement, a stipulation to dismiss these claims without prejudice, which means if you don't do what we agreed to do, I come back and kick the shit out of you. But they stipulated to settle this thing. They didn't give the details. But if I read between the lines, these three got caught doing some scandalous shit. And I can just tell you, almost every business dispute I've ever handled, one side or both sides, was just scandalous in the way they handled the dissolution of these businesses or breaches of contracts. You got to be very careful and watch the people you get into business with, because the problems I see have to do with the pathology of the control group. And if the people running these businesses can't get along with each other because everyone wants to be the alpha, and if you don't give them what they want, they act stupid, and then they steal from you, shit starts bleeding out, money disappears. This is sort of the root of what I see. People who don't know how to run a business, don't know how to pick their partners, continuously get themselves in these kind of problems. So I'm going to throw this back at you. We can talk about the scandalous shit we've all been involved in with business partners. But this is just an example of how bad this can go. And the cannabis industry, these can be large dollar amounts they're chasing. That's me for High at 9. Back at you. What do y'all got to say?